All right, folks, what is going on? This is episode 717 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. When we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football, we're going to jump to the Falcons today. We're going to talk about some injuries because the Falcons, they had a good bit of injuries this past game against the Jets, but I don't think it's anything significant, especially, when I saw the whole situation with Nate Landman. He was still on the sideline listed as questionable after going out with his knee injury. So I don't think it's going to be anything significant, and hopefully most of these guys, if not all of these guys, will be back at least by the end of the season. Because I don't know how far along these injuries are, but I think that is going to be really interesting, and it's going to be actually really needed for us to have these guys because some of these guys are pretty important. But you had a couple of veterans that stepped up and played pretty well, so all is not lost. So we'll talk about those two veterans. If you're looking at the screen on YouTube or Rumble, you see who I'm talking about. But it's going to be good to see the next man up. So let's talk about it. If this is your first time here, welcome. I could be found on YouTube and Rumble. I am also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to check out the show on the website, it's firstandframerates.com. I'm also can be found on Twitter or X at VF Baller. And if you want to help donate or support the show, the CashApp and PayPal links are below. All right, let's just go ahead and get into this because it's kind of, injuries are a part of the game. It happens. And, when I saw with AJ Terrell going down with the concussion, he's under concussion protocol, Jeff Okudah with his ankle, I was kind of worried because, the rest of the season, we're going to need these guys. I mean, we're going to need pretty much everybody, all hands on deck. But we're really going to need our cornerbacks because we are in a league that's more passing than anything. And people are going to try to pass the ball wherever we go, whoever we play against. I mean, we're going up against the Buccaneers this week. You already know they're going to try to throw the ball to Mike Evans. We can use everybody that we can in the secondary. But the good thing about that is AJ Terrell and Jeff Okudah were limited in their game in practice today. So that's really good, especially with the concussion thing. You don't really want to play with the concussion protocol situation. You really want to be, really wary and very cautious with that. And Jeff Okudah with his ankle, we know how that happened with his ankle. His ankle was an issue before. I don't know if it's the same foot or ankle, but he came back and he's been playing very well for the most part this season. One thing that I could say, our secondary has been really good. Yeah, Terrell, Okudah, Bates, even with Richie Grant and Helms, they stepped up big time. Even Clark Phillips have played a really good game. So even if one of these guys are out, I think we're going to be okay with, Helms and Phillips stepping up. So it's not the end of the world there. Now, but when you look at the offensive line, it's almost a different story because, you got Dahlman and Caleb McGarry. They were held out of practice. And Dahlman, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, Dahlman is so sometimes, I think he, I can't remember, but I'm almost certain he's our center because you got, you got Bergeron and you got Lindstrom on the interior. So Dahlman is our center. We're going to need him. Hopefully he will be able to go. Caleb McGarry, not so much. Even if he's not able to go, Storm Norton, number 77, will step in. Now, that is a guy, I'm going to be quite honest, he could possibly be a starter in this league, or he can be starter for the Falcons because he's been playing very well this season. He stepped up big time against the Texans, and it just seems like he was a really good fit for that right tackle side. So, look, if McGarry's out, I'm not too worried. I know he does play well at times next to Lindstrom, but listen, if Storm Norton got to go, I'm okay with it. Storm Norton has been playing very well. Now, when you look at the linebacker situation, Nate Landman, I love the way he's been playing this season with Troy Anderson out. And with he going down, I was extremely worried because we lost one linebacker. Then Nate Landman comes in and plays very well, and now he's down. But AJ Smith, is his name AJ Smith? Oh God, I done forgot his name that quick. Please forgive me. Smith stepped in to play, and he's been he stepped up in the Jets game. He played really good. So for him to step in and play, it really helped out big time. And with him was able to come through and actually make a difference, in a lot of things that the Jets were trying to do. It really helped. So I'm not really worried about that too much either. But it's just a situation where you would want, you would want him to come in and play, especially the type of season he's been having so far. It is something that it's just a guy that you want to be in there, so that's a guy that we're going to miss if he's not going to be able to play. But I think with Smith coming in is really going to be a big deal. Can he step up and play against the Buccaneers as a divisional game? And they're a little bit more physical than the Jets were as far as offense versus defense. And it's just going to be a big matchup for him just to see if he can come in and play for the team. I think he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be okay. There's just no issue with that. It's just that you will want your guy to come in. I mean, oh goodness, I forgot his name. You just want him to come in and play because, just for the simple fact that you want all your players. You don't want any of your players to just out and about and just not able to perform. Andre Smith, goodness, I'm almost all over the place. And I'm sorry, that's what I was looking for his name throughout this entire, this time I was just rambling. Got Andre Smith here is going to be playing. I'll say the AJ, but I mean, it's Andre Smith Jr., so it could be AJ, right? But nevertheless, Landman out, Andre Smith is going to come in to step in, and I think he's going to be able to, do what he has to do. So these two guys are stepping up. That's going to be pretty cool as far as Norton and Smith. Now, last but not least, you have Mac Hollins is still out with the ankle. Hopefully he'll be able to come back. Mike Hughes, his hand has an issue. Defensive lineman Lakel London, they were all full participants. That's really good because it's good if you want Hollins in there. It's going to be another weapon that we really could use against the Buccaneers secondary. Mike Hughes, with him being a full participant, if that's going to be help if AJ Terrell or Jeff Okudah is out, like I said, all hands on deck. That's going to be really good as well. Calais Campbell and Cordell Patterson, there was non-injury rest days. It was non-injury rest day for them, so that's not really, a big deal. Those guys are going to come and probably help and get another win, make it 3 in a row. But just the thing about it is Calais Campbell, I think he was, I can't remember if it was this game or the last game. One of them games, I think he was hurt for a little bit as well. But, I think he's going to be fine. Cordell Patterson is very limited. I think, these guys are the two, veterans on the team for the most part. They're probably the most tenured guys that have been in the NFL on the team. So they're going to get their, their days off. I think Wednesday is usually the day that they get off. So outside of that, these guys, Norton and Smith, they're going to be very important to what we do here until these guys come back, even if they're not out. I mean, Landman, he was already carrying the load with Troy Anderson out. Then, you still have Caleb McGarry possibly going to be out and Norton's coming in. So these two are probably like the most, they're probably like the most important that are out. The only reason why I say that because Okudah and AJ Terrell was limited in practice. So that's a good thing. That's going to be the way that sounds like. It seems like it's going to be more of a game time decision. I'd rather have at least one. If both are out, that's not going to be cool. David Adamaya, Ayamaya is, he was out of practice with an ankle injury as well. Not too worried about that. The defensive line has been playing fairly well without him. Don't get me wrong. I would love if he's on the field, but the defensive line has been playing okay without him. So it's not, keep him rested if the defensive line does continue to move like they're moving. Because Bud Dupree, you also have, Ebekete. These guys are getting, even Caden Ellis, those guys are getting at the quarterback, getting some type of pressure. The run game is not going for no teams for the past couple games. So that's a pretty good indication that Ayamaya could sit out for a while if needed. I mean, I would love to have him, but no reason to rush if everything, well, I don't say everything, but if most things are clicking on that defensive line. So that's pretty much it, man. I'm just worried about the offensive line and this linebacker situation because the offensive line makes the run game go, and we need a linebacker that's going to continue to be there to be that. I ain't gonna say necessarily field general, but you're gonna need a guy that can carry that space in the middle of the field and get after the run game, play a little bit of coverage, or actually make some really good tackles when needed. So those are the two important for me. Everybody else that I mentioned, hopefully they'll be back as soon as possible. Luckily, none of these injuries seem like they're like season injury or long-term injuries. So that bodes well with 5 games left. If these guys got to miss a game or two, even with the level of competition we have, we should be okay. Because I think these guys are playing in good positions in good times of the season where we're playing at home, and like literally our biggest threat that to the rest of the schedule are really the non-conference games. I mean, we're looking really good in in divisional games, because the division games look pretty good right now. Now, I'm not saying that we're just going to win them, but they're pretty much in our favor. I mean, I don't see the Panthers being a threat. The Buccaneers, we already beat them, so hopefully we can make that 2 in a row. And the Saints, their quarterback situation is falling apart. So you just don't know with the Colts and the Bears. You just don't know yet. So hopefully, by the time we have to play one of those two teams, pretty much most of the guys that are on the injury report will be ready to go. That's on this injury report, be ready to go. Like Terrell Okuda, even, Dahlman, hell, even Landman, once they come back, that'll be awesome. So if you like this commentary, hit the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Are the injuries a big deal to you? You think it's something that we need to really worry about? Or we just need to take it easy and just put our players out there and get them in the best position to win? I think that we're okay. I really want to see at least one of our cornerbacks come back. If Storm Norton has a play, it's not a big deal. I'm a little worried if Andre Smith has a play. I think he'll answer the call. He'll be fine. So that should be okay. But for the most part, I'm really worried about the Dahlman situation and really one of the cornerbacks, because I think Storm Norton can hold their own. Dahlman, the offensive line, we need that on point. And, even though we get one of the guys back, if neither, it would be terrible if neither one can play as far as Terrell and Okuda. But we get one of them back, I think that'll be just enough for us to compete at a high level. Because like I said, we got a couple of guys that came in the secondary that's been playing very well. So I could be found on the YouTube and Rumble, also Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts. If you want to follow me on X at VFBaller, that'd be awesome. The website is firstandframerates.com. And if you want to support the show, PayPal and Cash App links are below. I'm going to get up out of here and enjoy the Wednesday. It's almost a weekend once again. It is moving really fast. It really is. But yeah, we're going to talk some more stuff then on Thursday. Hope you guys will hang around. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. And y'all take it easy. And y'all be blessed. Peace.